When Georgie and Mandy's first marriage introduced Connor, viewers didn't expect him to become one of the most unexpectedly emotional characters in the series. And now, thanks to Dougie Baldwin, Connor's actor, we have a clearer picture of how this character is dealing with heartbreak in a way that feels more real and more grounded than most sitcoms ever attempt. Baldwin recently talked about how Connor is processing everything he's been through, especially his breakup, and he revealed that music has become Connor's way of putting his feelings somewhere they won't eat him alive. Connor has always been the quiet, observant one in the McAllister household, and Baldwin explained that this is exactly why music fits him so well. He's not the type to sit down and pour his heart out in a long emotional conversation like Georgie or Mandy might. Instead, he internalizes things. He thinks before he speaks. And when you're dealing with heartbreak, that kind of inward personality can make everything feel even heavier. So Baldwin said the writers leaned into something that felt true to Connor's character, expressing his emotions through songwriting. What makes this even more interesting is that Connor's heartbreak wasn't shown in a dramatic, tear-filled way on the show. The breakup happened off-screen, and many fans wondered why. Baldwin explained that putting the breakup front and center would have made it feel too harsh and too painful, especially for a sitcom that still leans toward emotional softness, even in tougher storylines. But instead of ignoring his pain, the show lets it leak out in small ways, through Connor's quiet moments, his frustration, and now, through his music. According to Baldwin, Connor's songs aren't just filler scenes or comedic bits. They're actually part of his healing process. He said that when Connor picks up a guitar or starts writing lyrics, it's him trying to understand why something that felt so real fell apart. It's him trying to rebuild his confidence piece by piece. And Baldwin emphasized that this was important because heartbreak at Connor's age hits hard. You're old enough to believe the relationship matters, but young enough that you don't yet understand how to cope when it ends. What really stands out about Baldwin's explanation is how deeply it lines up with Connor's personality on screen. He's always been emotionally intelligent but unsure of where to place those emotions. Music gives him structure. It gives him a safe outlet. And it also adds a new layer to the McAllister family dynamic. We see Georgie fumbling through adulthood, Mandy chasing her ambitions, Audrey showing off her daughter's achievements, and now Connor turning inward and finding his own voice through creativity. The show doesn't make a big deal out of this, and that's part of why it works. Baldwin pointed out that heartbreak doesn't always need to be loud to be real. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it's a kid sitting in his room writing lyrics because talking about it hurts too much. And that authenticity is what makes Connor such a compelling character, even though he was never intended to be the face of the series. Another thing Baldwin highlighted is that music doesn't magically fix Connor. It doesn't erase the heartbreak. Instead, it helps him move forward without becoming cynical or closed off. It keeps him hopeful. And that's something that stands out in a show where almost every character is dealing with some kind of emotional mess of their own. Connor's approach is different. He processes, he reflects, and he tries to turn pain into something creative. Baldwin also mentioned that fans may see more of Connor's musical journey in future episodes. The idea isn't to turn him into a full-blown performer, but to show him growing into himself. The heartbreak was the catalyst, but the music is the part that lasts. It's something the character can hold on to, not because it's flashy, but because it feels honest. In a series full of big personalities and even bigger conflicts, Connor's quiet emotional arc might be one of the most grounded. And Dougie Baldwin's insight just confirms what many viewers already sensed. Connor isn't just a side character. He's the heart of the show in ways that sneak up on you. His heartbreak matters. His healing matters. And his music is becoming the language he uses to navigate it all.